is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we are going to be ranking the shooting guards, the top shooting guards today in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, look, guys, I did the point guards the other day, so if you want to see where your favorite point guard shapes up, okay, make sure to go watch the video. Also, these Chris Mullins are the same, so, I'm going to put him at the end of the list and not rank him twice. Now, most of it's primary, or guys I would play at the 2. So, like Carmelo Anthony, I would primarily play at the shooting guard position over that small forward position. We also do got Luka Doncic on this list, just because Luka's one of a kind. If you want to run Ben Simmons and Luka at the 2, it's pretty common for people to do, so he is also on this list. Now, before we dive any further into it, guys, if you are new to the channel and have not yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 100,000 subscribers. We're going to start off here with Albert King, and Albert King, honestly, guys, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, should be better than he is. I mean, that's just my honest opinion on Albert King. Ray Allen basically very quick dribble style. I mean, he honestly should be pretty comparable everything outside of maybe size to Malik Sealy. And I just feel like Malik Sealy is overall quite a bit better. Obviously, height plays a big portion, that 6'8", 7'3" wingspan, compared to 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. But I don't know, maybe I'm biased putting Albert King down here in C tier, but I just don't see it with the card. Alex English is one of these cards. He's just outdated, man. I mean, he's not even as good as Albert King. So what I'm going to do right now is move Albert King to B tier, Alex English to C tier. The card's not terrible, but he was out when 250K was played, and that's really all that needs to be said. He's just not great anymore in my team. If you use Alex English, do what you got to do. He's just not that next level good anymore in my team. Andrew Wiggins is really good in my team, and I'll tell you guys about it. I mean, this card is really solid in my team. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, defensively absolutely immaculate. And can we just have an appreciation for how good Andrew Wiggins is playing in the playoffs? It's been absolutely absurd, but card is basically perfect all the way around. I just don't love his release. That's really why he's not higher. But if you want to put Andrew Wiggins into that A-tier caliber of players, I'm not going to disagree with it. Our first A-tier player, though, is going to be Anthony Edwards. A card who, appreciation-wise, I've gained over time. When he first came out, I was not high on him. I still don't love his release. But he can move pretty well. Okay, he can move pretty well. He's an invincible card. And he's a card I eventually do want to end up getting. It's one of those things. I didn't grind for him right away. I wish I probably just would have gotten him. Just because I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. Obviously, I like the Timberwolves. I like Ant. And so I just wish I had Anthony Edwards. Dark Matter, invincible card. Billy Owens up next. I think we're looking at our first D tier player. I think I did have to use Billy in limited one week. Maybe it was last week. And the card was fine. I mean, he's not horrible. It does have the Gallo base on quick, shifty dribble style. But when it gets down to it, he might be the worst card on this list. I'm going to put him in F tier. The only reason I'd use Billy Owens is if you had to in my team limited or something like that. Brandon Ingram up next, and I just don't see what y'all see in Brandon Ingram. I know some people really do like Brandon Ingram. I'm not one of those people. I mean, defensively, he is really not good at all. It's that simple. Release-wise, not great. Quick dribble style. He's got Kobe size of escape, but I don't even think he's better than Alex English. I do not like Brandon Ingram in my team. And to make sure I'm just not talking up a wall, I mean, he's hardly better than Alex English. He is C tier at best. Bruce Bowen, I think we got to talk about him as being our first D tier player. And that's not me saying Bruce Bowen is bad, guys, because I don't think the card is bad. He just doesn't have a lot of total badges. Is he better ultimately than Billy Owens? I think so, but I don't think it's by much. He is a decent 3-and-D option, I would say, but there are just way better options at the shooting guard position than Mr. Bruce Bowen. Another absolutely incredible shooting guard in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM is Mr. Carmelo Anthony. For a stretch, obviously it was nearly 2 months ago now, Carmelo Anthony was up there with being one of the best shooting guards in the entire game. I mean, 6'8", can move like he can offensively, has the release he does, which Melo based on quick, shifty dribble style, Kobe size of escape. He had a lot going for him for his specific time. Again, the problem with Carmelo Anthony is that his time is no longer now. It's just, it doesn't get any simpler than that. He had his time. It's just point blank and simple. That time is ultimately not now. Next up, Cazzie Russell. Kaz, man, is going into B tier. I'm pretty high on Cazzie and probably always will be. More than anything, though, for me, when I talk about Cazzie Russell, I talk about what he does on the defensive end of the court. Everybody is in awe of Cazzie's offense, and I get that. I am too, because he does have jump shot 3 and he can move extremely well. But the underrated aspect of Cazzie, the reason to me he is where he is on my tier list, is because of how well he plays defense. Cazzie Russell going into B tier. Are we going to get our first S tier player with Cedric Maxwell? When I look down at my list, I would say probably not. I mean, I'm going to go A tier with Cedric Maxwell. But I do love Cedric Maxwell, guys. He was my top shooting guard in the game for a couple of months. I mean, we talk about Melo when he came out was nearly 2 months ago. This dude, Cedric Maxwell, came out over 3 months ago today, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Nearly, 100 days ago? I mean, the card can still do it all. Still's got good dribble sticks, jump shot 3 on very quick. When I say he's got good dribble sticks, I mean, for his size, for his movement, they're just fine. They might not be the best in the game, but they are just fine. Moreland, man, up next. At the top of, look, I feel like I would be doing Chris Mullin a disservice by not having him in A tier, but is he A tier? I don't know, man. I don't know if I can put him in A tier. I prefer Ant, Cedric, and Melo all to Chris Mullin, and so that's the hard part that I'm having. I think it's really a debate between Chris Mullin and Cedric Maxwell. For me, though, I've always preferred Cedric Maxwell. I do think Cedric Maxwell is quite a bit better. I think Chris Mullin's at the top of B tier, lower A tier. We'll see where I end up putting him. Again, that Chris Mullin is the exact same as the Galaxy Open Chris Mullin. Base Danny Green is not good. And I'm going to spend a little while talking about Danny Green here. Okay, base Danny Green. This Danny Green card is not great. I'm just putting that out there. This Danny Green card is not great. If you do give him the duo with Hansbrough, though, he becomes a lot better. Badge-wise more than anything. I mean, you give him some needed badges. That's the real big difference. With the duo, he'd probably maybe be low B tier. Without the duo, he's D tier. It's that simple. I mean, without the duo, Danny Granger is not great in my team. We'll still say I don't mind his release one bit. Drazen Petrovic. Is it weird that I prefer Cazzie to Drazen? Is that weird? Because I know most people are just infatuated by the new Drazen. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't love his upper. The release 39 upper is disgusting. I'm throwing that out there. But I don't know if I'm just for liking Cazzie Russell more than Drazen Petrovic. And let me know down below in the comments. Am I wrong on this for liking Cazzie more than Drazen? Do you guys think Drazen should be higher? I need to know that down below in the comments, because when I used Drazen, I was just like, okay, this card is just not great in my team. Yes, I get he's a cheese ball, but I didn't move well with him, and I just was overall not impressed with the card. Eddie Jones, I think we got to go C tier with Eddie Jones. I mean, you could maybe put him up to B tier. My whole thing is this with Eddie Jones, though. I mean, the card's only 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan, a mediocre release, basic combo. I mean, he's just not over the top good. Yes, if this Eddie Jones would have came out a month or a month and a half ago, I'd be really high on him. The problem is now we've got guys like Galaxy Opal Chris Mullin, Galaxy Opal, Drazen. It's just tough for me to be any higher than C tier on Eddie Jones. The Mikan man, George Mikan up next, and another really tough one for me. Is Mikan A tier? And I'm going to put him in A tier. And I know a lot of people don't like George Mikan. But I need you guys to hear me out. He's got jump shot for him very quick, which is fine. Dribbling is not going to be the thing he's best at. But defensively, he is an absolute dog. You've got to use George Mikan the right way for him to be good. That right way is for him really to never touch the ball offensively unless it's a catch and shoot situation. And defensively to be really solid. That's how you use George Mikan. Really solid for his price. He's 6'10". I personally am a big fan of George Mikan. I'm also a really big fan of Gerald Wallace as well. When it comes down to budget shooting guards in my team, there's not one guy I prefer over Gerald Wallace. Why? He's 6'7", a great on-ball defender. Release is immaculate. I get it movement-wise. He might not be great. And think for yourself, guys. Movement-wise, I don't think Gerald Wallace is indeed great. But overall, as a card, I do like Gerald Wallace. I do think this card can be one of the top maybe 10 shooting guards in the entire game. Out of position, Giannis. I'm sorry, guys. At the shooting guard position, I still think he's S tier. I mean, I'm not sitting here gassing out of position Giannis because I personally prefer the card at small forward more. But if you do want to run this card at shooting guard, he is still one of the best shooting guards in the entire game. I get it, movement-wise is not great. Giannis based on quick is still really quick. It's still a fine release. I love dark matter Giannis, whether it is the hero, whether it is the invincible, whether it is the out of position, it doesn't matter. I love Giannis. Glenn Rice, I don't see it, man. When this card came out, a lot of people were excited. But Glenn Rice had his time last year, and his time is not now. 98 only on quick. This card is not it. I'm sorry. I'm putting him in the C tier because I think that's where he belongs. It's just an okay tier. But trust me when I say there are plenty better shooting guards than Mr. Glenn Rice. Jamal Wilks is another guy, like, he's not horrible, guys. And you guys need to know, Jamal Wilks is not horrible. But he's only 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. That's really the problem with the card. Release-wise is fine. Quick dribble style is fine. He can't really move that well. I do think he belongs in B tier, though. I really do. I think that's where Jamal belongs. Again, I don't love the card, but if I had him, I think I would rate him probably along that B tier, right? Jimmy Butler, this Jimmy Butler and the new Jimmy Butler, they're basically the same. Here's my thing. Is he better than Andrew Wiggins? No. That's all there is to do it. Jimmy Butler is in B tier because he is simply put not as good as Andrew Wiggins, who is also in B tier. And speaking of that, I'm moving Wiggins to A tier. I can't justify Wiggins not being in A tier. I just can't. He's 6'8" at the 2. Really solid stat badges wise. He's definitely A tier. I like this a little bit better. Andrew Wiggins is better simply put than Jimmy Butler in this game. That's why Andrew's in A tier. Jimmy is in B tier. Joe Johnson, another A tier shooting guard in my team. And honestly, he's getting decently cheap now. I mean, Joe Johnson's not super expensive. 6'7", 6'9", wingspan, hot spots, rub everywhere. 33 Hall of Famers, 40 on goal, 97 3-ball, 95 driving dunk, 95 2-ball, 94 ball, 96 speed acceleration. Great defense in there as well. And just as an all-around card, you can't not like Joe Johnson. I mean, you just can't. The card is a really solid overall card in my team. Next up, guys, Dr. J Julius Irving. Another takeoff player. And Dr. J is not bad. I can't sit here and say he is bad. The only thing is I wish he had Rudy base on very quick instead of just on quick. But outside of that, the card is overall a really solid card. Definitely think he's better than Glenn Rice. Definitely do think he belongs at that B tier. Invincible Kawhi Leonard, there's no questions asked, is an S tier shooting guard. You're going to see him on the small forward list too, and don't be surprised when he is in the exact same tier. I'm in love with Kawhi Leonard. Movement wise is finally okay in my team. Ray base on very quick with 102 upper. Super smooth, super easy to time. Maybe the easiest release to green in the entire game is Kawhi Leonard's. Kelly Oubre Jr. is horrible. I'm going to put him in D tier. I despise this card. I got him. I tried to use him. And this card is horrible. If you get Kelly Oubre Jr. and you like him, congrats. I could never do anything with this card. He's pretty, though. Kelly Oubre Jr., he's pretty. Klay Thompson, Dark Matter up next. I think you got to go B tier. I really do. I think that's where he belongs. Now, is that me saying Klay is the best shooting guard in the game? No, but that's me saying he definitely does belong at B tier for how good he overall is. I think as a community, we're waiting for the Invincible or the new Klay, whatever they decide to give us. But this Klay still to this day is fine. The Galaxy Opal Klay would be in the same position. I do think they are all B tier. You could argue Klay in C tier, but I think I prefer him at this point to a guy like Alex English. And I think I got to move Alex English up. I think putting him at C tier is disrespectful. Invincible Kobe might come as a surprise to people. I'm putting him at S tier. I do think Kobe Bryant is better than Anthony Edwards. It's that simple. I've said it since day one. Kobe Bryant is better than Ant. It doesn't get more simple than that. I do like Ant, but I like Kobe Bryant a little bit more. A lot of it does have to do with the Kobe Bryant base on very quick, as well as I think Kobe Bryant on current gen is one of the top shooting guards in the entire game. Hero Kobe, that's the perfect spot for A tier. Is there a big difference between this Kobe and the Hero Kobe? I mean, honestly, not really. Just a few interior block ratings. Badge-wise is a little bit different. If you have the hero Kobe, you're probably having some fun with him because he can still move just as good as the invincible Kobe. Here's going to be an interesting one. Both Luka Doncic's at the shooting guard position are going into S tier. I'm going to move Giannis down just because, look, he's not nearly as overpowered as he once was. If you do want to run Luka, I'm going to just take this Luka off the list, but you guys know what I mean. I mean, if you're on next gen, Luka is a must-have, and even if it's at the shooting guard position, he's S tier. It's that simple, okay? It is that simple. I do prefer Luka at point guard, but if you want to run him as shooting guard, look, guys, he is S tier. Malik Sealy, another A tier shooting guard in my team. I'm gonna move some people around, move some people down, just because. Look, I think I got to, man. I think I got too many players in too many areas. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep Mullen there. Albert King that belongs there. Kazzy draws in. Move Dr. J down. Let's see who belongs down a tier. Maybe. I'm going to move Wiggins down a tier just because I like Malik Sealy more. Joe Johnson, Kobe, Gerald. I'm going to move the Mike and Man down, although I like him. I like this a little bit more. I really like it a little bit more. I want to keep this list a little more balanced. I think I'm going to move Eddie Jones up, though. Eddie Jones is not D tier. That is blasphemy. Johnson up next. And look, guys, I get it. Jump shot 8. But at this point on my team, this card is the definition of mid. For his time, he was okay. But at this stage, he is mid. I still think he's on the C tier level. But I'm not a big fan of Marquez Johnson. Matisse Thybulle up next. Now, Thybulle, look, he was in the Galactic Pack. I think he was on boards, and you had to get him off boards. But defensively, absolutely elite. And nobody can argue against that. I just don't think he gives you that much else. I mean, playmaker-wise, he lacks handles for days. Shooting-wise, lacks chef. Card's not perfect, but again, I still think he belongs at C tier. Michael Finley, I'm going to get a lot of slander for this. A lot of people love Michael Finley. I'm putting him at A tier. And look, if you guys want to take Michael Finley over Kobe, be my guest. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you if you know how to dribble. He can definitely be an S tier shooting guard in my team. But I think for the majority of the community, including myself, you're going to have more success with Kawhi. You're going to have more success with Kobe. Probably going to have more success with Luka Doncic. I do have Michael Finley at, probably the upper edge of A tier. Another S tier shooting guard is MJ. This MJ would also be an S tier. I just want to clarify. This MJ would be an S tier. Gonna leave him off the list just because I don't want too many people in S tier. But Luka and MJ, both cards, are indeed S tier. Why is Michael Jordan S tier? Current gen, the best card in the game is this Michael Jordan card. It's that simple. I mean, the best card in the game. Look, movement-wise, ridiculous. MJ based on very quick is super good, super smooth. They finally made MJ good in my team. Mike Miller up next, another C tier shooting guard in my team. I do believe, right? Is he C tier? I do believe that's where I want him. 22 on very quick, shifty dribble style. Movement-wise, Miller is not going to be great. And I'm going to do it. Mike Miller's D tier. I'm going to do it. I just don't think he gives you enough on the defensive end of the court to be at C tier. Money Mitch Richmond, another guy I do not like. And this is one of those guys that, badge-wise, he's got 35 Hall of Famers. Stat-wise, he's not even horrible. It's just 22 on very quick dribble style. He's not as good as Jimmy Butler. Not even close. He's 6'5". And at this point, 6'5" with what he does, not the biggest fan of him. Norman Powell, look, a lot of these cards are just going to be where they're at this point. I mean, Norman Powell is 6'4". His wingspan is good. My whole thing is, who's better? Who's better, Norman Powell or Mitch Richmond? I mean, I really don't even know if I got the answer to that question. I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to tell you guys they're in the same tier. Whether you like Mitch Richmond more, whether you like Norman Powell more, they both belong in the same tier, D tier. Pascal Siakam is B tier. Is he really good in my team? Yes. Is he as good as a Giannis? Is he that good? No. Pascal Siakam is solid, especially in the defensive end of the court. I'm just not a big fan of jump shot 75. Now, that's maybe just me and kind of my bias getting to me, but I have not liked jump shot 75 all year long, and that's not changing today. Paul George is a tough one, man. This is a really tough one. I think I got to go A tier with Paul George. But that's not me loving on Paul George. It's not. And I might have even had some guys switched around in my top 100. I might have had Mike in over a guy like Paul George. Now, with that being said, stat badge-wise, he's too good not to put in A tier. I don't love his release. I'll be the first to say that. But again, Stat and badge wise, for Paul George, he's too good not to have an A tier. Richard Jefferson is also an A tier shooting guard. A lot of these guys are preference, like Richard Jefferson compared to Michael Finley. That's really preference based. Now, I love Richard Jefferson, and it all starts with jump shot 49 on very quick. I'm higher probably compared to the community on jump shot 49 than anything else. Like, I'm so high on jump shot 49 compared to a lot of people. It's just what I like, okay? Quick dribble style. I like his movement in the half court, full court setting. He's been on my no money spend for a while, and he's probably there to stay. RJ Baird. I've never gotten this RJ Baird card, and I've never used him. My whole thing is this. When you compare this RJ to the RJ we had already had, the Pink Diamond RJ, who I did love a lot, there's really not that many differences. Badge-wise, there is, but stat-wise, there's not. I do think he's better than Brandon Ingram. I do think he belongs in B tier, but I'd just be careful, hyping up RJ too much, considering there's not much of a change from that Pink Diamond. Rudy up next, and with Rudy, we're going to S tier. This one is one that you guys might not agree with, but I think it's hard to disagree with this. I mean, the card is basically an invincible card. He does no wrong on the court. Quick dribble style, Rudy based on very quick is also very smooth. Shooting-wise, defensively, playmaker-wise, even dunking, man, the card does it all. If you don't like Rudy, then you need to look in the mirror because I don't think it's probably Rudy's fault. Scotty Pippin up next. We're going A tier for Scotty Pippin. Yes, guys, I like Rudy over Scotty. You guys can disagree with that if you want, and that is okay. But I am pretty high on Scotty Pippin. With where we're at, guys, I'm not moving Gerald Wallace down. I like where we're at A tier. We're just going to have a lot of people in A tier. It is what it is. But, I mean, really compare Gerald Wallace to Scotty Pippin. Yes, is Scotty Pippin better than Gerald Wallace? 100%, guys. I'm not saying that. But Gerald Wallace is going to give you basically what Scotty Pippin does for a lot cheaper. So, with the way smoother release. So, just something to kind of keep in the back of your minds and think about. Shane Battier up next. Look, I don't like this card. I really don't. And it really comes down to jump shot 40, and he can't really dribble. Still is a 3-and-D guy. He's fine. I just do not love Shea Battier. He's going to D tier. I'm sorry. Terry Dishinger to the dentist, man. He's going into B tier. Right with Chris Mullin. I mean, out of all these lock-ins, Clay, Terry, Mullin, they're all about the same level. I do like Cedric that level up. Again, Terry on current gen, if that's where you're running him, is really good. Rudy based on quick dribble style, he is really good. Hopefully we get a new Terry Dishinger really, really soon. Trace McGrady up next. Another S tier shooting guard in my team. And I'm going to rank these shooting guards, okay? I'm going to rank them. Obviously, Luka, MJ, they're at the same ranking. Whether you're on current gen or next gen, they're at the same. I like Kawhi. Then I like T-Mac, Kobe, Rudy. This is how I would rank them. If you are Rudy over Kobe, I'm not arguing with that. Vince for this era is B tier. I did like Vince for his specific time. I thought he was a really, really, really good free card. And he was. It's just his time is not now anymore in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. And that's really our last card. Obviously, these three cards we had already been over on where they would be. So this is the tier list of the shooting guard position for today. I'm sure you guys are going to like a lot of these, dislike a lot of these. So let me know down below in the comments who I was too high on, who was I too low on, and ultimately, who did I leave off the list? Because I'm sure there's plenty of people I left off the list that you guys probably would have liked to see. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.